Fellas, welcome back to Wiseman Company. I'm Ben, and today we have another MP5 video. Lucky you. I hope you guys aren't sick of MP5 videos yet. This is the most important one, I think. And today we're going to cover this build list, what I've changed, which is almost everything, and why I've done it. So let's go into each piece, where you can find them if you're an MP5 guy, why I like them, and why I think this is probably this is almost perfection. Okay, let's start here at the back. I've had this on for a while. This is the A3 tactical brace. Very simple looking brace, but very robust. The hinge is very robust. It's a folder. That is very important to me. I've had some really bad hinges in my day, and they start to wobble, they get loose, they break. The hinge is the most important part of a folder. A3 Tactical makes high quality stuff. They're based out of Florida. I've bought stuff from these guys for a long time, and they make some really good stuff. A3 Tactical, go check them out. A3 Tactical brace. They have a bunch of other braces, but this is their kind of simplistic Picatinny brace. Next, let's talk about a very key component, because this component ties everything together. This is the Leapers UTG Pro Monolithic rail, and this is a one-piece rail that integrates the back to the front. Most of your MP5s are going to have a claw mount and then a separate type of forend. You know, whether it's M-LOK, Picatinny, whatever you want, but they're separate. This is monolithic. It's all connected. I had my reservations about this because when you hear UTG, it's not always the most high quality components, but UTG Pro, to my understanding, their Pro line is American-made components. And this part right here is awesome. It tied everything together. It's robust. It was super easy to install. Everything fit into place like a glove, and all the electronics wouldn't be able to work together without this monolithic rail. We'll get into the electronics, the sighting system here in a little bit, but just know that the back and the front, all one piece. It is M-LOK, as you can see here, which is pretty standard these days. Leapers did a great job with this rail, way better than the claw mount that you see usually on the MP5s or MP5 clones. Ties everything together, like I said. Let's talk about electronics. Reptilia mount, lower 1/3. On top is the Aimpoint Duty RDS. Full review on this optic, and this optic was sent out by Optics Planet. Thank you guys over at Optics Planet. As you know, the Aimpoint Duty RDS sits a little higher. There's a little bit of a base on it, so I'm not going to get an actual lower 1/3 with this mount. It sets at about 2 inches, which is perfect. It clears the laser perfectly. There's no obstruction in the glass because of where it's setting. The laser up front is the Rovy Von GL4. It is a very small laser. It has a green visible laser, IR laser, and an IR flood. Full review coming on this. Obviously, I needed a small unit for such a small gun. There's not a lot of real estate. This is doing the job nicely. This is kind of a competitor to Surefire's pistol unit, and so far I like this a lot better so far. But a full review coming on this. A lot of people are using these little guys right now. I'm sure if you do a quick search, you'll see some reviews on it. The light is a Surefire Vampire, so I got IR and regular light on here. And I'm using a Surefire tail cap with a Surefire switch that is simply Velcroed down in front of my sight. So if I need to hit my light, I can just move my thumb and I can activate that. The laser is activated by these paddles right here, and I can switch back and forth between the two. I don't use a laser a lot when I'm aiming, and honestly I don't use it much at all for the IR flood. I shoot a lot more passive. I'd say 90% passive, 10% not passive. At the end here, I have a Griffin Armament Bushwhacker. This is a 30 cal plus can, so 9mm passes through it nicely. This is one of those do-all cans, so I can swap it around to a lot of different things. I won't do that because YouTube is lame, and I have a full review coming on this can as well. Really like it. Uses a taper mount, but you can get a tri-lug mount from Griffin if you wanted to take your 1/2x28 threading and put a tri-lug on it. They make an adapter. So you can do that as well. I just used a taper mount and it's been working great. The biggest change on the gun was this trigger unit down below. This is from Lee Sporting. It absolutely changes the feel, the ergonomics, the handling of the firearm. The standard grip and trigger that comes on MP5s and MP5 clones, not great. Outdated, terrible, heavy, bulky, tiresome. They're just not great. This little guy right here makes the gun smaller. It gives me an AR-15 type grip, gives me an AR-15 type trigger, gives me an AR-15 type safety, all which is very familiar to me. I shoot AR-15s a lot, and there's almost no learning curve when it comes to jumping on this MP5 other than the reloads. All fire controls are the same, and it just feels so much better. The grip is from Griffin Arms Co., which they make some really cool grips, very ergonomic, well thought out. I believe they're 3D printed, and you can see there's some good texturing on there. It has kind of a unique shape. It just fills your hand really, really nicely. The trigger inside is a Geisley 2-stage. Lee Sporting knocked this out of the park. The lower is aluminum, and you pop your 2 pins, throw this in, put your 2 pins back in, and you're off to the races. Eric over at Barrel and Hatchet turned me on to these guys. He's been using their lower for a while on his MP5, and he said the same thing. Like, it changes the gun, it changes the game. If you're an MP5 guy, you probably already know about Lee Sporting. If you don't, go check them out immediately. It's a little bit of a pricey component, but it's one of those things that is absolutely worth it if you like running an MP5 or you run it frequently. Last but not least, I finished it off with a Lunar Concepts 2-point baseline sling. Just got a G hook up here that I clipped in, or the parahook, and this is the Rhodesian pattern. On the sling, I have a prison pocket, and this just holds some lube and an extra battery. It attaches right to the sling via Velcro. You can get these on our website, wisemancompany.com. Like running a 2-point, even on smaller guns. So that is the complete build. I changed almost everything. You know, the only thing I didn't change was the barrel bolt, the important stuff. I love it. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time to put in a platform into a PCC or a sub gun. But for those of you that like this sort of thing, it's no different than guys putting money into an AR-15 or a Glock, for crying out loud. How much money is dumped into Glocks to make them just a little bit better? I think these additions make this gun a lot better. Like, the performance gained is huge compared to a stock MP5. So leave me a comment down below. Am I crazy? Am I stupid for doing all this? Do you like it? Don't you like it? If you have any questions about specific parts or pieces, please leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer any of those questions. Go check out these companies I talked about. They make good products. I've used their products. I like it. And I think you'd be benefited from using their products as well. So please go check those companies out. If you want to support us, go to wisemancompany.com. We have a lot of great gear over there, like this sling and hop and prison pocket. That's the best way to support us. We don't get money from companies to make these videos. It is all directly supported through you guys buying products from us. We ship quickly and we have great customer service. And again, we appreciate all that support. My name's Ben. We'll see you on the next video.